Hello, my impatiens. How are you all doing? So, was my mother, stepfather, family, and friends getting off from my pain and suffering? Did they intend to give me the HIV scare? Did they intend to pharmacologically abuse me? Or is this an emotional tsunami? I want honesty and transparency here. I want somebody to tell me the truth. Um, it's kind of like this artwork right here. And it goes, I feel like I've been betrayed by everyone. Just tell me the truth. Admit it. They say we've told you the truth over and over again. The only truth I want to hear is a confirmation of my delusions. If anything, I betrayed my parents, family, and friends by getting delusions. The only one who betrayed me is my mind. The way my mind works is the problem. So basically, there are no hidden realities, right? My friends, family, parents, nobody betrayed me. That's really the reality. Correct? Is that correct? Is that correct? Erie gives me the intense eyes and says correct? Question mark. Is that correct? Erie says yes. That is indeed correct. Okay, here is one. It's becoming obvious there are major hidden realities. They're keeping secrets from me that I should know. They're deceivers. I want a confession and for them to take accountability, but maybe I should focus on mental health recovery. Trust the process and focus on prose programs, NAMI, art classes, and so on. Live life. Protesting, tell me the truth, and attempting to get them to take accountability is just ruining my life. So did they actually gaslight me and give me the HIV scare and pharmacologically abuse me, or did they not? Did Erie says yes? They really did, Erie. No, I mean, no, don't mess with me. I mean, I know everybody tells me they didn't, but I feel like they did, and apparently that's not so though. I want the truth. I want honesty and transparency, no matter how bad it is. Erie says, "Well, yes." Well, yes, what, Erie? Like, what does well, yes mean? No, I won't. I mean, I'll contact the police. I'll send nasty text messages to my psychopharmacologist. I will definitely get upset. Um, but if they intended to give me the HIV scare and pharmacologically abuse me, I mean, I'm definitely going to be upset, and I'm going to try to get law enforcement involved. But I'm not going to do anything that will try to get me, you know, in jail. I'm going to try to get them in jail. But apparently they didn't do anything. So, if they confess they gave me the HIV scare and pharmacologically abused me and were getting sexual pleasure from my suffering, I'm contacting law enforcement and the FBI, and I'm going to start cursing through text messages at my psychopharmacologist. Like, that's what I'll do. But apparently they didn't do anything nefarious. Apparently they didn't have bad intentions apparently they aren't pharmacological abusers. And basically realize nobody is lying to me, nobody is deceiving me, and take my medication, correct? I mean, can people stop posting pictures of cigarettes and just tell me the truth? I mean, did they intend to give me cancer? Did they intend to cause neurological? I know they say the only truth you want, Andrew, is a confirmation of your delusions, right? Everybody's posting pictures of cigarettes. Can somebody tell me the fucking truth? I mean, are they telling me the truth? Did they really gaslight me into taking HIV prep? Did they really pharmacologically abuse me? Did they really do that to me? Did they have nefarious premeditated intentions? Did they do that to me? I don't bully my parents. They bully me. Everybody's posting cigarettes and saying, tell me the truth. Can I tell the truth? I have told the truth. What do you want me to tell the truth? Can somebody be honest with me, please? What haven't I told the truth about? What haven't I told the truth about? Somebody says it was more than just a no. The dog sin or the dog lick. It, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, like, why does that matter? I mean, stop messing with my fucking mind and posting pictures of cigarettes and saying, "Tell me the truth." Just or by "Tell me the truth," are you trying to say you've told the truth again and again, and this is exactly what's going on here. You're protesting for a truth that's just. I mean, the only thing you want to hear is a confirmation of your delusional beliefs. That's the only thing you want to hear, Andrew. Like, I'm going to read to you the post. I think they're lying about what my family has been doing for the past 25 years, the HIV scare, pharmacological abuse, and so on. I feel like I'm the most honest and transparent person there is. Can someone take accountability? Can someone tell me the truth? I want them to stop lying and gaslighting me. I feel like I've been betrayed by everyone. I'm not looking to press criminal charges against you or to sue the doctors. Just tell me the goddamn truth. They say we've told you the truth over and over and over again. It's getting frustrating saying the same thing. They tell me I'm delusional. The only truth I want to hear is a confirmation of my delusional beliefs. They asked me to tell the truth about intergender wrestling 20 to 25 years ago, the dog sin, how I got banned from the Fountain House, and so on. I'm like, I've told you the truth again and again. You just don't want to hear it. They say this is the same exact thing. There's no hidden realities. It's getting frustrating. There's nothing to confess to. Now believe everyone and toggle my emotional switch to off. They are telling me the truth. Try to be more loving with my parents, family, and friends. Realize the only one who betrayed me is my mind. If anything, I betrayed my parents, family, and friends by getting delusional. Peter says that's pretty logical sounding. So calm down, realize nobody betrayed me. That is indeed the truth. Somebody says, now apologize to your mother, father, and stepfather. So he says, you look upset. It's because so he says, stop picking on old, sick people. I feel like they get pleasure from my suffering. I feel like they were getting sexual pleasure from my suffering, but they weren't. They just weren't. I'm projecting, when I feel the constraints of my life, I project sexual perversity into their minds. They were never getting pleasure from my suffering. I think worse than the side effects of HIV PrEP, worse than taking something that was like cigarettes, is getting betrayed by people that I got close to. I think the betrayal is the worst part. Feeling like everybody's betrayed me. Feeling like everybody's lying to me. So he says, but what if they haven't betrayed you? Yeah, that's what I'm told. I'm told they aren't betraying me. I'm having an emotional episode right now. I'm having an emotional tsunami. I mean, what was taking HIV PrEP and the HIV scare very traumatizing for me? Absolutely. Um, but think about all the love, my parents, family, and friends have shown me. Think about the love that I shared with the friends, um, before the unfortunate thing happened, and try to realize they're not monsters behind their masks. They're not. They had good intentions. Their intentions were to help me. Somebody says it's interesting how you toggle in and out of, you know, psychosis. You go from or emotional tsunamis. You go from thinking your parents were trying to kill you, pharmacologically abusing you when you get emotional, angry, and you think you were betrayed by everyone. And then you toggle out of it. Your toggle switch toggles off and you calm down and you're like, all right, everything's okay. My parents love me. My friends weren't secretly hurting me. Nobody was getting pleasure from my suffering. And I calm down and the switch goes off. Usually, what toggles my switch on is fear, anger, betrayal, trauma, and things like that. Usually, it's something that correlates with emotion. Somebody says if they have betrayed you and they haven't, then it's really terrible and unforgivable. But if they haven't, there's no. I don't. I need to accept responsibility and apologize, or at least to my parents, I need to apologize for the things I said and did. I need to apologize for the false accusations I made about them. I need to apologize for everything. I think part of the reason I don't believe them, and it's no excuse, but they've never really taken accountability for my running years or the mega regimen of medications I've taken. I'm not talking about HIV PrEP at the moment. I'm talking about the pharmacological medications that Dr. Copland prescribed. They never really took accountability for me sitting in solitude. And I know they say these things were your choice. Nobody forced you to do them. But I want them to say, yeah, no, I'm really sympathetic and empathetic with how your life turned out. I'm really sorry your life turned out so horribly. Maybe we could have done something differently and have a heart to heart about these kind of things. And it makes me think there's hidden realities that they just don't want to take accountability for. I think. Yeah, it's a fair point. Pete says nobody forced you to sit in solitude. They beg you to go out and do things. They pay for you to have a car. Somebody says they didn't cause that, so they don't need to apologize for that. You did that to yourself, not them. Pete says nothing you say makes any sense. Chiba says it's delusional disorder. Dave, if I fill you with rage, then get lost. Leave, all right? I mean, like, if I fill you with rage, then stop watching my content. TV says you need to accept that you need to take more medication. Chiba Chiba says Andrew refuses to get well, and it's a shame. I'm not bullying my parents and stepfather. On the contrary, they bully me. I'm the passive one in this house. Peter says, your parents truly care if you get arrested or homeless. They don't want that to happen to you. In a way, this is kind of like a therapy session that's public. I mean, somebody says I'm bullying my parents by, saying what I feel they did online. Somebody says this is a form of bullying. I think that's what bullies do. Okay. Splurge Lord says I really struggle with empathy. I don't think that's true, but okay, if you say so. Chiba Chiba says I struggle with it immensely. I think I think with it when it comes to my parents, that's not really. I mean, we have a hostile, dependent relationship. But let's change the topic. Let's just change the topic. I'm irritable that I'm being. Somebody says, "Okay, Pete, you're wrong." I mean, but whatever. Quite frankly, according to, I don't think this is really the best judge of somebody's, mental health. Somebody ranting into a camera, throwing a tantrum into a camera, because it's not like I'm having a dialogue with somebody. It's not like I'm having a conversation with somebody. You don't see what goes on, beneath the surface. You don't see the real interactions. I mean, this is not really a good marker for judging whether or not somebody has empathy or not. You don't see my interpersonal relationships. You're just making, assumptions about me based on what your, rants that I'm doing on social media. I mean, you can believe what you want to, but I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm one of the sweetest, most loving guys there is. When I'm not angry and hostilely dependent and frustrated. I'm like a real sweetheart, and that's the truth. According to Dr. Copland, I'm not a narcissist. I mean, just whatever. I mean, whatever. I'm not a narcissist. I don't have narcissistic personality disorder. People are just trying to people are trying to diagnose me and give me narratives that just aren't true. I feel like my parents are lying to me. That's the reason I get so emotional. I feel like they've been lying to me. Somebody says, "Okay, dude, you have a ton of empathy, and your mom is weird." Okay. TV says, "Andrew, I have a question." Yeah, what's your question? Somebody says, "Okay, somebody says, "Do you think Dr. G was a double-edged sword? He undoubtedly helped you, but his idea was health without medication is unfeasible to you, so he shouldn't have mentioned it." Somebody says, "What's the definition of empathy? To sympathize with people, to care about people." And I do. I really do. But if you, somebody says, "Sympathize and care about your mother, father, and stepfather, and stop the bullying." Okay, you know, and realize there was no betrayal when it came to them, right? Just sympathize with them completely, and I mean, like, can you people? Somebody says, I mean, I'm obviously enraged over how my life has turned out, and I blame my parents for it, whether it's right or wrong. I'm angry at my parents, but and realize it's just. Somebody says, "Not to sound mean, Andrew, but you never realize anything in the sense that you go back and forth. You can't seem to come to a conclusion on your parents. Did they or didn't they?" I think that the main problem is I'm afraid they at least at some points were monsters behind their masks. They had nefarious intentions when it came to me. So what you're saying is my parents and stepfather always had good intentions when it came to me. Nobody ever had nefarious intentions. Nobody was ever pharmacologically abusing me. Nobody was ever trying to hurt me. Nobody was ever getting pleasure from my suffering. Nobody ever. Is that what you're saying? You're saying everybody's intentions were always good. Somebody says, I don't think anybody had bad intentions, even if sometimes the outcomes weren't the best. Somebody says, yeah, I mean, realistically, I mean, don't point the finger at your parents and blame them for the way your life has turned out. Instead, take accountability and make your life happen. Did Dr. Garrett ever ask if you going around and around in circles with the same question is typical of schizoaffective? Well, it's definitely a delusion that I'm fixated on. Um, I don't know if it's OCD or not. I mean, I think there's like an OCD component there too. Um, you know, so there's definitely like topics I get fixated and obsessed with, but TB says, I honestly feel sorry for you, Andrew, but you have to help yourself and want to come, and the help has to come from the inside. I think I'm enraged. It just doesn't matter. Who really gives a shit? Why do I have to explain myself to these schmucks on the internet? Like, I mean, like, I think the reason I don't really empathize with my mother and father is because, I'm angry at them. I'm enraged at them over how my life has turned out. Like, in a way, I blame them for my life having turned out so horribly. And I mean, probably not right, but in a way, I'm just enraged at my mother, father, and stepfather. Like enraged, like real. I think they had nefarious intentions. Like I'm. It's called hostile dependency when somebody is. It doesn't really matter what it's called. It doesn't really matter what you guys think ultimately, but that's the reason I can't seem to empathize with them in recent years because, I'm enraged at them. I view them like they're Satan. That's how I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them with the Satan lens, and I hate my parents. Even though they do so much for me. Somebody says when you're over 30, everything is your fault. That's true. I mean, I'm dependent on them, and I got to take accountability. Somebody says somebody's going to call Adult Protective Services if you keep this up. What are you doing later, Splurge Lord? What are you doing later? Splurge Lord says his girlfriend is coming over. That's great, Splurge Lord. I thought you were Lady Gaga. What, are you dating a woman? Didn't you say you were Lady Gaga a few weeks ago? Or is that a lie? TB says, I think it's like a powder keg in the Koloski household at the moment. Yeah, I think Dr. Copland said the same exact thing. He said this house is like a powder keg. I'll read to you. I'll read to you the powder keg email from Dr. Copland for those of you who are interested. I haven't read it in quite some time. So this is me in August of 2017, August 19th, 2017. and I say I'm 30 years old and disabled due to mental illness. I'm always home with my mom and stepdad who don't work as well. We're all frustrated about this home environment. We're at our wits' end. They blame everything on me, even when I'm not to blame. She acts like they're victims, even when they're not. I wish I could record my mother without her knowing. You'd agree she's nuts. I sit there silently while she yells and yells and yells at me. She tells me I'm going to be a failure, how I torture her, how I'm going to wind up in a group home. I went for a walk to escape the hell of her yelling at me. So she called me and I listened to her yell at me the whole walk. On paper, I look like the most insane one, but my mom and stepdad are much crazier. You'd be mentally ill too if you had to live with them. I lost my teens and 20s because of them. I'm frozen with fear, but I don't want to lose my 30s too. I know I can be independent. I know I can be a huge success, but it's a crippling environment. I'm too scared to move. Someone help. And Dr. Copland said on August 19th, 2017, you don't have to a huge success to afford moving out of the house. It sounds like a powder keg, but it is your responsibility one way or another that you are there. I said to Dr. Copland on August 19th, 2017, you're right, this home environment is a powder keg. It's my responsibility to get independent. I talked with my mom. We're considering independent housing and group housing. I think a group setting would make me so depressed. I would likely not do well there. I know I'm capable of living independent. If forced, I can do it. I think it's the push I need to get moving. Is there anything you can write to get me a solo apartment? In the meantime, the Medicaid social worker says it takes 6 months. Perhaps we can put a rush on this. My mom said she'd help me assimilate. Thanks, Dr. Copland. See you Wednesday. Yeah. All right. Somebody says, does it make you a bit sad to read those things from 7 years ago? You wasted independence then. You wanted to move, but nothing happened in 7 years. Somebody says, the homeless arc is coming for sure. All right, guys. Peace out.